Last week, I helped a client save $340,000 on their $4.5 million Soho purchase. No loopholes, no risky strategies, just a smarter structure that sophisticated investors use and a lot of luxury buyers miss out on. If you're spending $3 million on a purchase or more, you're going to want to make sure to watch this one. How you structure the deal could be one of the most important things that you do in this purchase. I'm Erin Wheelock, and after structuring over $750 million of luxury deals in New York City, I've learned the key difference between those who build generational wealth and those who just spend it. The smart ones treat every major purchase like a business deal, not a lifestyle choice. Now, let's talk about the wealth building versus the wealth spending. Now, here's what separates the ultra wealthy from the merely affluent when it comes to buying luxury real estate. They don't just buy apartments, they create financial instruments. Most luxury buyers approach New York City real estate like this. Find a beautiful apartment, fall in love, negotiate the price, get a mortgage or not, and close. It's essentially a very expensive consumer purchase. But sophisticated wealth builders approach it completely different. They see three opportunities in every luxury purchase. Tax optimization. Every New York City luxury purchase involves multiple tax implications. State taxes, city taxes, transfer taxes, ongoing property taxes, and potential capital gain strategies. The structure you choose on day one determines your tax burden for decades. Leverage arbitration. When you could borrow money at 4 to 5% and deploy your own capital into an investment with a 8 to 12% return, the financing structure becomes a wealth multiplication tool, not just a payment method. Portfolio integration. Your New York City luxury purchase isn't isolated. It's a part of a broader wealth strategy involving your business interests, investment portfolio, estate planning, and tax domicile decisions. Here's the reality, okay? In Manhattan alone, there are 7 different ways to structure that $4 million purchase that result in completely different financial outcomes over the next 10 years. And the difference between the best and the worst structure can probably exceed over $500,000 in after-tax wealth creation. Most buyers focus on square footage and marble countertops, which, by the way, no problem. I love it. Wealth builders focus on your IRR, tax efficiency, and liquidity optimization. So what exactly are most luxury buyers doing wrong? There are 3 critical mistakes that are costing them all of this moolah. Problem number 1, you're thinking in single entity. You're buying in your personal name because that's how you buy everything else. But luxury real estate purchases involve multiple tax jurisdictions, potential business use, and complex ownership structures. Of course, speak to your accountant. However, buying personally might cost you $50,000 or more annually in unnecessary taxes and eliminate future optimization opportunities. Problem number 2, you got financing laziness. You're thinking about the mortgage like it's a car loan. Just get the lowest rate and move on. But luxury real estate financing involves jumbo loan strategies, asset-based lending, cross-collateralization opportunities, and liquid preservation techniques that most buyers never even explore. You might be leaving a few $100,000 in optimization on the table. You know, I actually even know a few people that have invested in whole life insurance for so many years, they're paying themselves back a loan instead of the bank. How would you like to put a down payment, take a loan against your own whole life insurance, pay yourself back the interest for your home? Just think about it. Problem number 3, exit blindness. You're buying there like you're gonna live there forever, ignoring the financial realities of investment liquidity. New York City luxury has seasonal selling patterns, specific buyer demographics, and tax implications that can vary dramatically based on your holding period and exit strategy. Poor planning here can cost you 15 to 20% of your net proceeds. The result? You could end up with a beautiful apartment and a suboptimal financial structure that cost you hundreds of thousands over time, while missing opportunities that could have enhanced your overall wealth position. Just pains me. Let me give you a couple of examples of what I'm talking about. Stacy, hedge fund partner. She bought a $3.8 million Tribeca apartment in her name. Seems straightforward, but she missed that her bonus that year moved her into a different tax bracket, and her property purchase actually eliminated some of the tax deductions that she was taking. Her CPA, I'm pretty sure, actually calculated her first year tax implication was about $180,000. Money that is gone for forever, because you can't restructure that after closing. Now let's talk about David. I actually love this story. So David was purchasing a property on the Upper East Side, $4 million. It's going to be his dream property, which we love. He wanted to spend the entire amount in cash because he didn't want to have any debt. Admirable. We showed him that if he could actually just take a step back, look at it, maybe take out a loan for about $2.5 million, because he was able to leverage his relationship with the bank and get a 4.2% interest rate. And then he invested the other $1.5 million in an existing portfolio that helped to create an additional $95,000 annually in after-tax wealth. His conservative approach was going to cost him huge. And listen, I get it, especially that one. And I feel like I really like that one as an example, because there are so many people that have that American dream that they bring to New York, right? I'm going to buy it in cash. I'm not going to have any debt. But the truth is, while it's extremely admirable, and yes, absolutely, maybe it'll get you the apartment, so do it and then refi afterwards. If you have relationships, if you can get a low interest rate, why not then use part of your money on something that's going to pay that mortgage off for you? I mean, gosh, amazing. That's the new American dream. Okay, I'm going to give you one more. So Marcus bought his $5.2 million Chelsea condo. He was planning on being in the city for, I think it was like 3 to 4 years. Now, here's the thing is, everything in the city, everything everywhere is actually cyclical, right? Values go up, values go down, values go up, values go down. Now, as much as I want to control more things when it comes to our clients, we do our best to call and say, hey, supply's down, demand is up. Great time to sell and find you a new home. Maybe we can find you a home that's bigger and better in an area where supply is up and demand is down. How does that sound? Now, not everyone listens to us, and that's okay because it's your money. Giving me anxiety thinking about it. But anyways, so he ended up buying this beautiful home in Chelsea for $5.2 million. And we had conversations about Chelsea and the direction that it was going in and the values. He actually bought it when it was closer to the peak, not quite at the peak, but closer to the peak. So we had conversations. No, I think it'll get better. No, I think it'll get better. And then the conversation turned into, no, now it's too low. No, now it's too low. Anyways, long story boring. We could have gotten him out at a positive, but now when we talk about values, we're at a few $100,000 below what he purchased it for. And I'm not saying that we can time out the market perfectly. However, one thing that I know for sure is he's not getting out of Florida anytime soon, because he is determined to get at least his asking price, hopefully plus some more back. And I think now he is just on a personal mission to work with us when the market does come back for that neighborhood. Again, you guys, we can never time it perfectly for everyone, but it is something that we definitely specialize in, with letting you know, hey, here's a change, here's a change, here's a change. By the way, if you live in Clinton Hill, your inventory has stacked 3 times. Let's talk. I also want to be clear, these aren't just financial losses. These are wealth building opportunities that are disappearing for forever. Let's just take Marcus. Let's say that he actually sold at a gain of $300,000, right? Even just $300,000. What could he have done with that money over the last few years, right? What is the return on that money that he could have gotten, right? Every dollar you lose to poor structuring is a dollar that cannot compound for you or your family's future. Now, let me just take this home by giving you a couple of examples. When you structure your luxury purchase, like the sophisticated wealth builder that I know you are. Again, I want to be very clear. Always speak to your accountant, your tax advisor, attorney, everyone. I think I need like 15 disclosures on this page, right? I'm not that. I'm just someone to help you strategize. But let me give you a few examples. Instead of buying personally, we helped a woman, Maria, to buy her $4.5 million Soho condo, and she purchased it through a Delaware LLC owned in her family trust. Now, this purchase was able to help her achieve multiple goals. It reduced her tax exposure by approximately $45,000 annually. It created estate planning benefits of over $300,000. And I mean, that's just going to go up over time. And it provided privacy and liability protection. Same apartment, dramatically different financial outcome. Now we have Robert. I remember he wanted like a $3.5 million Upper West Side Co-op. Smart man. West Side, best side. Just saying. We'll work with you if you're on the Upper East Side too. Instead of doing conventional financing, we structured an asset-based loan using his investment portfolio as collateral. Now what this did was this preserved his actual liquidity, right? What he would have had to put down for a business opportunity that is getting him 18% annually. The arbitrage between his borrowing costs and his investment return created an extra $280,000 so far in wealth over the last 3 years. Money that is, actually I know some of it went to his renovation, and then some. Huge difference. Okay, so I think you're getting the picture here. Yeah, so important. So this is what strategic structuring delivers. Your luxury purchase becomes a wealth multiplication tool. You maximize tax drag on your overall portfolio. You preserve your liquidity for high return opportunities. You create multiple exit strategies and future optimization paths. And you're going to be building generational wealth instead of just buying expensive things. And listen, I love expensive things. Do not get me wrong, okay? But this is really big. This is your future. Now listen, if you are ready to invest like the best in New York City luxury real estate, don't approach this like a consumer purchase. This is not a car loan. Approach it like a sophisticated wealth building opportunity because it is. Now, I'm going to be offering a limited number of complimentary luxury purchase strategy consultations. They're going to be 15 to 20 minutes. And what we're really going to go over is where you're at and what your goal is. And is there a strategy out there that we think can help get you there faster or maybe better? And then you're going to leave there with a plan of who you need to talk to, who you need to confirm things with in terms of tax strategists, tax planners, everyone in that world, because we want to make sure that you're talking to additional professionals because this stuff is extremely important. And I don't want to disclosure, blah, 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 blah. There's always little things that come up. So we're going to make sure that you are in the best hands possible to get you all of the right answers so that we are strategically getting you into that next property. Again, this is not about real estate. It's about wealth optimization. These strategies can be worth more than most people's annual income, but only if implemented correctly from the beginning. To schedule your strategy call, be sure to click on my Calendly below. Also, my information, I think, is appearing somewhere here on this screen. Woo, technology. Be sure when you email me to include your purchase timeline, approximate budget, and any current strategy that you're thinking about using so I have a heads up. And then maybe I can even have somebody join us on the call to make sure that we are using your time as wisely as possible, because let me tell you, I respect your time the same way I respect mine. It is very valuable. Time is money, baby. Don't let poor structuring cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars on the largest financial decision of your life. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I know we got into a lot of things there, so if you like it, rewatch it and then send it to someone who you know, who you think could also benefit off of this. It's definitely a different way of thinking about real estate, and I'm super passionate about it. I'm super passionate about people building big wealth for themselves and their future. So please reach out. Please send this to a friend. Comment below. I want to know what you're thinking. All right? Until next time. Bye, guys.